When we're tracking these cases, there's people, there's lives behind these cases. That's what it's about. And we've got a child. A couple of weeks ago, I heard him ask, when will I be able to call these people mom and dad? I know I can't do that until the adoption's finished. And we haven't been able to finish that adoption still because of court continuances, and it's got to get the final approval by the judge. So even he knows that at a very tender age that I can't do that until this process is finished.
We know the trauma that it does to these children to be removed from their family, but you have to weigh whether staying with their family is more traumatizing than taking them away. And it's an extremely difficult decision.
Taking a child into foster care is our very last resort. We do not want to remove children from homes. It's one of the most intrusive things you can do to a family.
That is the most important right that is being affected in district court, is parents' rights to parent their children.
We have the agency attorney that works with us and our social workers. Then there's the parents and their attorneys. And then we have the guardian ad litem service, which is a volunteer-based service. Their goal is to strictly look out after what's in the best interest of that child.
First and foremost, these kids are involved in this system, this court process, through no fault of their own. So when we talk in North Carolina about a year to permanence for children, that's the goal. From the time they enter the system to the time that a judge declares a permanent plan's been achieved, our goal is to do that within a year. A year for me goes by in a heartbeat, but a year for a 4-year-old, that's a quarter of their life spent in foster care.
Foster care should be measured in minutes, not days or weeks or months, and the realities are, especially in this district, foster care is measured in years. Because we know it's not healthy for families to come into foster care. We know, especially given the complete lapses of court time and availability of the judicial system, that these are not good outcomes for these kids.
There's a long history of substance use with the parents and neglect. Some of the things, though, that we have learned throughout this investigation, which we've always suspected, is the girls have been allowed to just be alone, sometimes for weeks at a time. They don't know where their parents are.
For the roughly 180 active juvenile cases that I have on my caseload, we have 6 court-appointed parent attorneys on our list. Nobody wants to do this work. When I moved here in 2009, the court-appointed rate was $75 an hour. A couple years later, it dropped to $55 an hour. And here now, 15 years later, it's $65 an hour. You can't live on that. After you take away overhead, malpractice insurance, assistance, cost of office space for these attorneys, why would they make basically minimum wage to do the most horrible subject matter you can think of?
The 43rd Judicial District faces its own unique challenges. These are not easy counties to move within. And so if you've got providers, family members, attorneys having to go from county to county to different courthouses or to providers, if their child is placed in a different county, it just makes everything a little bit more difficult.
When these kids come into our home, I mean, they need the basic needs met, and having home-cooked meals available, having a routine for these children so that it's predictable, that it's not scary. My focus and our support and services in our home had to shift with not how could this kid become a member of our family, but how could this kid become a productive member of society in the future, and how can we get this kid back home to the people that, look like them, that talk like them, that know everything about this child's history.
These are your grandkids. These are your kids. These are your neighbors' kids. These are the kids that you see in the supermarket. They just want what all kids want. They want to be safe. They want to be cared for. They want to have their needs consistently met. They just want what regular kids want.
I don't feel like that I can be trusted by my kids, by my parents, because they're thinking it's my fault because they're stuck in this same gridlock. Whereas reality is it's out of my control. And our kids ultimately are just done a disservice every time that a continuance happens.
The longer they're in care, the less likely they are to have a place to go, and they could end up staying, here at our office and calling our DSS office home temporarily.
The gold standard that's been set out for DSS type court is that for every 50 kids in foster care that you get 3 days of court time per month. Haywood County has 39% of the court time it should have to adequately address these children's cases.
The attorney's role is absolutely crucial. We couldn't do it without them.
I 100% believe this is a solvable issue. We just have to get the right people in the right room.
We need more court time. We need more attorneys. We need IDS to get real about what they're paying these attorneys.
Our goal is for kids to be with their families. So the faster and more streamlined we can make that process to where that we know that they're safely back at home, that's what we ultimately want.
The longer we keep children in care, the more it costs.
It needs to fund its judicial system. It needs to fund its child welfare system.
Doesn't it make sense to invest on the front end in children? They're not throwaway kids, and we shouldn't give up on them.